Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it's Regrowth, it's episode 1 of a brand new save. Why Regrowth? I always start with these sort of quirky questions when it comes to starting new saves. You know, why the return? Why the station? Why back many moons ago? Why bright lights? Regrowth, very simple. I'm not going to take 100% credit of this as well. We actually had one of the members in chat, Camo, said regrowing the forest. I didn't want it to be that long of a name. We've had a few decent names come here. Forest Forever, Tricky Trees, which I thought was really, really good. Tricky Trees is not bad at all from Mr. Shadow. And he, obviously, Rodsy makes the intros and the outros. So, got to give him a shout out as well. But Camo's come in with regrowing the forest. I decided to get it really short and go Regrowth. Why Regrowth? Forest once back in the day, and obviously AJ Walker, when he watches this, is going to hate this, but back in the day was a powerhouse of English football, mainly because of a couple of men, and I'm hoping they are here in part of, here, Brian Clough is their absolute legend of the, of Forest. Sorry, I'm a bit ill, so I'm trying to just talk here. I am very surprised that Peter Shilton isn't on that list as well. You know, he did win a Champions League there. Stuart Pearce obviously was here as well. There's names here. I don't believe that Peter Shilton did not make this list. Nigel Clough, as in the son of Brian Clough. There we go as well. Stan Collymore for names that remember, but mainly we're here because back in the day, Brian Clough built a team that was that good, that had Peter Shilton in goals, that was able to win the Champions League. They were able to win the First Division. And look, they have got a very, very, very good record in England from many moons ago. Since then, it's been a very tricky time for Forest. They haven't really come back to prominence in England. So I think regrowing the Forest, as Camo would say, and why I'm calling it Regrowth, is a pretty nice little play on words. We are here, obviously, in this first episode. The reason why we've gone with a championship save is we actually spun up a few different saves, a few lower tier English clubs or Championship League One. We had a few. This is after we won the Champions League and we did it on stream. We had a few English Premier League clubs that aren't expected to do well at the start, or Newcastle. We also had Sampdoria, Genoa. We also had places from Spain. Obviously, Germany was there as well. In the end, it spun up Forest. There was 15 teams. And you respect the will when the will does it. Anyhow, we are just going to click through here. In terms of tactic inductions, obviously, we know what we're doing. We just won a Champions League. Spoiler alert, I'm going to release this after all the Mess's stuff is finished. We did win the Champions League with Mess. If you haven't watched that final, even though I've spoiled it to you, it's the craziest final I've ever been part of in my life. And that is not clickbait. That is the most craziest final I've been part of in my life. If you weren't here to watch that live, there you go. In terms of what they want us to do here, it's actually very interesting. They want us to play attacking football, sign players under the age of 22 for the first team, which is what I don't mind, or for the future. But develop players using the club's youth system. Now, if I go to the club's facilities, their youth system is okay. They got good youth, but I don't really get good recruitment. I feel like if you want that in the club, you want good recruitment with good youth at a bare minimum. So the fact of the matter is, I think that they need to change that. I think that if we got the money, which I do think we do, we were going to go and see what we can do. Anyhow, in terms of everything else, they want us to work within a budget. Every club does in the championship. Top half finish, I do believe that the squad is probably good enough as a whole right now, because I know a couple players that play there at Notts as well. You know, I do watch enough football to know about most championship sides. I do think there is players there that I think that we will definitely push the top half anyway. They want us to reach the fourth round of the FA Cup. That will be very dependent on what we do get drawn in the third round. Hopefully we get a good draw and we do really well. But YouTube, it will be a very interesting save. You know, they're looking to build on promotion to the Premier League in future years, and we've obviously got what we got. I'm actually very happy with that current vision. Play attacking football, something that I definitely am a big focus on Football Manager. We don't play a very defensive brand. I am still yet to decide if we're going to play the 4-2-3-1 MacArthur Australia system. That save is stopping just because of the rules of the A-League. It's just horrid. I don't recommend. I recommend if you can find a database and you want to do an Australian save, that's what you do to get rid of the rules. But that system there worked so well, and it ended up bringing us the Champions League with Mess. But I'm also tempted that if the squad permits, and the squad does use it, we go out there and play that 4-2-4 we played many moons ago at Mess, and we just don't worry about defensively anything, and we just go, look, they want us to play attacking football, we'll go out there and score 5 goals a game. It's just up to us if we concede 6 or not. And we will see. In terms of pre-season, not too bad. Heavy. FC mid is there, and there's a player that I really want to go after there. Where are you, Awa? There he is. He's wanted at the moment. Wanted by a few clubs. I want to bring him in big time. This would be my signing if I could get him anyway. But that's obviously the Aussie in me. I don't know if we will. In terms of that, people still are reported back injured, not good. There's people that are back in top shape, which is great. Obviously, the selection rules are really good in the Championship, which is great. It's just getting into the Prem that makes it a bit more difficult. There's obviously the transfers that have all gone through. I am using an updated transfer list. So if you go to Chelsea, for instance, or Liverpool, because Yotta's at Liverpool and Thiago's been updated. But like if you go to here, and I go all the way down, you got Ziyech, who you might see there, and you've obviously got Timo Werner's there. So all the transfers pretty much done up until... Look, today's the 24th. Probably till like the 23rd or 22nd should be in the game, as far as I'm aware. So, yeah, that should be interesting. In terms of that, we've got good youth, Nuno Costa. We'll get to all that sort of stuff as well. Thiago Silva. It's not the actual Thiago Silva. It's this guy who does look very good. In terms of that and everything else, I feel like what we're going to show you in this screen here is the finances first, because we obviously had finance trouble over at Mess. It looks like we've got a lot of money in the bank, but I do think that's been brought in by one big sale. 13 million. Appiah went to the 18-year-old. Has a bit of a prospect. I'm going to give him a scout. Not that I would bring him back, but a bit of a prospect. Went to 8 million over into Spain, which is interesting. And Ben Osborne went to Sheffield, playing in the Prem. This is the sort of player that I could have used. So... But not my choice, and he's only 24. But yeah, there's obviously people that they've brought in themselves, and I think we're just going to roll through a few names. Carl Jenkinson, I think, is a great signing. Did play for England, has played for Arsenal. I think that's a really good signing. Samba looks like quite the goalkeeper here. I think he would be one of our best goalkeepers here. It looks like it. And what else have we got? Nuno Costa from Strasbourg is there. International, plays up front. He does look very well rounded. Good headering on him too, which is not bad. Tyler Blackett, people will know, as a fullback as well. He's currently wanted. That's interesting. Who's he wanted by? On loan. I don't think at 25 I'm going to loan him out. And then we got Diallo, who's a goalkeeper on a free as well, and he's been capped by Senegal a few times as well. So we've got a few lads, but we'll come to know the squad. In terms of the club info section, Dawson's currently our captain with, and that's Michael Dawson. People know who Michael Dawson is. There you go. He's had a very good career, mainly at Spurs. Obviously, Ben Watson's there too in the middle of the park. Ben Watson's been around, was at Watford, played in the Prem. People know who Ben Watson is as well. But they do reckon that the Cameroonian, not the Cameroonian, the Cameroonian is our best player. This is the box-to-box midfielder in Fuad Batshuayi. I'm going to have to change that. Batshuayi. No, I won't change it. Batshuayi. I can say Batshuayi. And there we are. And so is our youth prospect. He does look like he has like Premier League potential, which is really good. Is he currently wanted by 16 clubs? Everybody on loan, which is not bad as well. We'll see what we're going to do with the... looks like he's at PSG. Did we get him from PSG? There you go. There you go. So what we're going to do in this episode here is I'm going to run through the season preview as well quickly. We are currently predicted to finish 4th. That's the team that they're predicting us to play, a 4-4-2 at the moment with that team there. I wonder what we're going to stay here. Oh, we got Graben here. Did not know that. Lewis Graben, back in the day. Of course he's here. Yeah, he moved. Yeah, of course. I keep thinking, when I think of Graben, I think of him at Bournemouth. I think of him, yeah, interesting. But it's not too bad. It'll be a very interesting save, this one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the episode here. And what I'm going to do is something a bit different. Usually we do an episode where we just introduce the save, etc., etc. What I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to stop it now. And I'm going to cut into every time that we are in for a player and that we are going into a contract. We speak about that player and see if we get him or not. And then what I will do is we will get to game number 1 in this episode, and I will play it as well. Considering on stream, I think that'll be a cool way to do it as well. Make this YouTube episode a little bit longer. The feedback's been from a couple of my regular viewers is that 30 to 40 minute episodes are perfect. They'd hate the 9-10 minute episodes. The 1 hour episode is a bit of a stretch to watch. So that's what I'm going to aim for as well. If you are liking that we are doing a new save, and you're liking we're back in England after many, many, many years in France, and you're liking that we're in the championship with Notts Forest, give it a like, of course, YouTube. And I'll see you in a second for some transfer drama. And of course, that first game of the season, whoever it is against. Welcome back, YouTube. I've simmed today. What I do think we should do is that we're going to hold a team meeting in this episode as well. Let's see that. Let's see me go through the squad, and let's see what tactic we do load up with first. I think that's what we're going to do before we get into some pre-season and some transfer stuff and some scouting, I think, is what we're going to do. I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself on behalf of the team. Dawson, obviously, you guys have seen this before. I think we can go and make the playoffs this season. A lot of 18 players think it's good. A lot of the lads think it's I don't think it's an unrealistic target. I'm very confident. I think you're being unrealistic. I respect what everybody has to say. Bit of a mixed bag there. So it looks like most of the players are like, yes, we can make the playoffs. And some of the players are like, no, I don't want to. In terms of that, I want to have a look at this team report. I also want to have a look at my staff quickly. We've only got 6 coaches here. I'm a big fan of getting coaches in that are that do have some ability in terms of judging player ability and that. So we've got 11... 13, head of youth is horrid here, and you want a good youth take. Okay. Sorry, Gary, that's probably very, very harsh, but there we go. We've got a good goalkeeper coach, but no good judgment, and we have a normal coach. Right, so we're going to use Bruno. Yes, correct, Mr. Shadow, Rodsy. Rodsy's already planning the intro. You've got to love the community. Down below, Journeyman Gaming, get around it. All right, we'll use Bruno then just to do this quickly. We're going to go into a squad depth. What I am going to do, I think, is I'm going to load my own tactic. I am going to load up the MacArthur tactic. Right, we're going to load that tactic up there. Right, and I am going to load in our counter-pressing 4-4-2 that we did use at MES 4-2-4. All right, but I am going to base this prediction of the team on the 4-2-3-1. So the team's there, and they reckon that we're going to play... I don't mind if we play 2 wingers or we play 2 inside forwards. I prefer inside forwards, but I'm not so sure. They reckon we should be playing it like that. We're going to go into a squad depth row and have a look. So I'm going to use it for the MacArthur system. It looks like Graben would be up top. Lewis, that's pretty good. I'm kind of trying to get a gauge of the squad. All right, so anyone that's 3.5 stars, pretty good level. So if we see 3.5 star stuff, it's really good. So, wow, there's a bit of potential there on Joao Carvalho. We need to get this on the Bruno, though. Yeah, I reckon he could be really good. 22-year-old. Trequartista. Looks decent. Prefer him to probably play advanced playmaker on attack, really. Alright. For the first time in a very long time, ladies and gentlemen, the book is out in force. The book is out in force. Exclamation book in chat. If you haven't seen the book in ages, boys, the book is out. Get around it. Let's have a look. Alright, I always do this as the first part of my saves. Let's have a look. So, we're playing a 4-2-3-1 at the moment. I have started from back to front, which I don't like doing. I like starting from the other way around. So, Samba, who they just brought in, is amazing, apparently, for the level. Good championship, not bad with Diallo. Alright, so goalkeeper-wise, we look pretty decent. So, we got Samba in there. Right, goalkeeper-wise, we look pretty good. I would imagine Dawson and that are probably past their level. We do have Johan, the 22-year-old Tisnizian, actually looks decent, so we're going to bring Johan in. I think for now I will put Dawson just in my makeshift team without having a look at the other place. We're not going to harp on this for too long. Bong, the 31-year-old, very experienced, very quick fullback. Looks pretty decent, does Bong. We then also have Yuri. 22-year-old's got a bit of potential. I actually really like Yuri, you know. I think Yuri we're going to put in over Bong. Maybe Bong's a sellable asset at his age. And then we got Tyler Blackett as well, who's currently wanted. On the other side, we got Carl Jenkinson. Pretty good. We have a loanee player in this guy who actually looks pretty decent too. Wow. And we've got no one else really. Figueira. We've got a few Portuguese guys, you know. He looks decent as well. Interesting. All right. I think for now I'm going to put in Carl Jenkinson because he's our own player. Carl Jenkinson, Arsenal. Got some pedigree. And then apparently this guy's our best player. So forward's going to go in the middle. I actually like that he's a box-to-box as well. Forward. Right. And we've got Ben Watson, 33 years old. experienced. We got Thiago Silva at 25. Looks very good, does Thiago Silva. So we're going to go with Silva, I reckon, in there. Another Portuguese. It's reminding me of Wolves here. And we got Sambasso, the 30-year-old. There's a name everybody knows. From Dynamo Moscow. Just moved here, Sambasso. We could play a 4-3-3 if we wanted to. I'm not going to. And I think So's going to have his own little place in my book too. Sambasso, the Marlene international. And then we got Luke Freeman, who can play on the left as well. Could also play in the hole. We got other left wingers. We don't really. We have Joe Ledley, or Joe Lowley. He's more of a wing on the other side, though. He's very good on the other side, actually. Yeah. Joe on the other side is very good. So I think we're going to go Joe on one side, Luke on the other. We'll grow Joe A, as in Carvalho. And we'll go with Graben up top. So I think that's not a bad way. So if I was to pick this team right now, right? Geez, we've got a lot of keepers, far out. We're going to go with one right in there. See that with an inside forward on attack, because I prefer to play it with that. Is that Clough's here? I did not know that. He's listed. I can see why. Used to be really good on Football Manager. Let's see as well. Sammy Abiobi? No way he's here. There's a throwback as well. Wowee. Alright, so we're just going to go with that. We'll go with Dawson on one side. This guy's injured, but we're going to put him in because he was one of our best ones. Carl will come in. Other side there was going to be, not Bong, but we're going to go with Yuri. Bong probably deserves to just make the bench because he was one of our best players on paper. Same with Ben Watson. And we're going to go with as well. Where are these people? Come on. Thiago Silva on one side. We're going to go obviously with Fode or there. Sambasso, another one of these players that's not bad. So we've got a bit of experience, a bit of youth, which is not bad as well. Take that as well. Diallo obviously is going to make the bench for pre-season. What else we got? This guy was a decent centre-back by memory. I'm not trying to do this. Sorry, YouTube. This has turned into a bit of a wordy one. Joey Carvalho was the one that plays in here, wasn't it? Yeah. And we need to find Luke Freeman on that side. And that's your team. I think that would be your team as of right now. So, without making any signings, there we are. Like I said, we are sick. That's going to happen a lot. I think what you're going to see is us in terms of signings. We're going to... I think what we're going to need is probably a centre-back off the back of my head. And maybe we'll have a look at a backup striker too. And then the rest of the squad's kind of there or thereabouts. It'll be interesting. We've also got Joe Ledley's been Palace. I don't think I really want to sell him. It depends if he wants to go, and it depends how much money it is as well. So yeah, there'll be sales, there'll be everything like that, and yeah. So we'll see that, YouTube. I'm going to keep the rest of this episode very, very quick in that so it doesn't go too long. And with that in mind, I'll see you guys in just a second. And that's your Knots team as of right now. How will that change come when this episode ends and we get into our first game of the season? Welcome back, YouTube. It is a piece of transfer news. We are in for Nuremberg's Kevin Godin. Very close to Godin for people that do remember the bright light save with the legend himself, Mike Godin. Any excuse to bring him up. I think in terms of the spot that we kind of need a bit more depth, it probably is right back. They got Diakawa there contracted as well. He's not bad, but he's definitely someone that I will probably look to move on for 15k as a fringe player. With that in mind, it leaves us Sirius, who is going to be obviously on loan from Fulham and leaving. And it leaves us obviously the newly signed Carl Jenkinson. So I do think signing a fullback on the cheap with a little bit of potential makes a lot of sense. Obviously, our best scout, because we haven't signed a good scout yet, is Simon Hunt. He believes that he's really good with good potential. So for me, to get someone in that's like that, play him in some certain games as well, play him in some games that I think we're going to be okay in, like bleed him in really slow. And if we don't get promoted, we're not going to bring the guy back on loan from Fulham again, or we might even ship him off anyway in 6 months' time. I could definitely get this guy in and play and be okay, I reckon. I think he would grow into a very decent potential prospect. He's got good pace and everything else. 350k up front, no clauses, no nothing. I think is really cheap as well for the club. And he wants to be a squad player. I am going to just try and keep that there. Look, if he develops, that's not the worst. 7K is probably about fair, really. I'm going to try and obviously drop these as well. People know when I try and negotiate. I don't like any of that stuff. If he really wants to come. Going to do that. 7K again, and remove, and see if he wants it. Done. There you go. Always offer it twice, and they always say yes. So very easy there for Kevin, coming from Germany. I hope he does come in, and we do get to confirm that. I'm not going to show you that in this episode. In terms of who we have gone for as well, in the ins that we haven't, there's a few coaches in there. That's not me. That's the head of youth going in for people as well. We did miss out on a couple of guys already, but not really. But I think the big thing that I've seen so far in preseason is that, we look amazing with the current squad. We just beat FCSM and A1 Mobile 3-0, and these guys are playing in the Champions League, so that's a very good sign. Second thing is that if you look at the squad in the whole, I just don't see what we really need. I said we need a centre attacking mid. I went and looked in the 18s. Johnson was sitting there, 2.5 star already, 5-star potential. This guy ain't going on loan. This guy playing first team football this year. This guy got to develop. And then I was like, maybe we need a winger. No, we don't, because Alex was sitting in there too, and he's 5-star potential and is our best prospect now. And I really think he's going to be really good. And we're going to obviously go in there as well. One thing I will say is that a few lads that we did talk about, Yan is out for 3 to 5 months, and Carvalho is out for 4 to 2 months, or 4 weeks to 2 months. So it does allow these youngsters to grow. So with that in mind, in terms of signings, I actually think what I was going to plan to do in this episode is, here's a few big first-team signings. Let's really push for promotion here. I actually think with how good the squad is, I think this episode is going to be, here's a signing or two that's going to help kind of bring in a couple more youngsters that are going to be really good in a couple of years. We're going to keep the same squad. If we get promoted, great. And if we don't, who really cares? As long as we make the playoffs and we don't get through, we're going to have a couple of youngsters that played a full year first-team football, and, mate, they're going to be really good as well. So I think we're in good steads, YouTube. And I'll see you guys in just a second for either another signing or our first game of the season. Welcome back, YouTube. Why are we on the Olympiacos screen, people will wonder. Very, 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 very interestingly, and I did not know this, apparently we have the same owners as Olympiacos. I did not know this. What it means is that for certain players, we can sign them on a free. There's two that I'm going for. First one is Lazar. Lazar's got 76 scout rating from our best scout. He's very well rounded, and he's currently at a championship level. He also has that Premier League potential, which is really nice as well. Apparently isn't going to get a work permit, they reckon, which I think is a bit odd. But the winger is definitely someone that I'm very interested in. Why would he get a work permit? Because he's Serbian? Maybe I will wait for him to join the EU. I did not know that, YouTube. That's a bit of a gaff. My problems. But just interestingly, I could pick him up on a free. There's another one that I could pick up on a free, and this is this guy. Leonardo Kortris is definitely my sort of fullback. A Greek international, very good at what he does, loves a big game, and he knows how to get up and down very, very, very well. As a wing-back on support, he looks absolutely incredible. On a free, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to quickly go in. We're going to make a bid of $0. And there you go. That is as easy as you like. That is really nice to see. I've clicked through. I think these guys are the only real two players that are really there. And the under-19s, I don't think they really have anybody. And if you go to their overview, they don't really have a hot prospect. But definitely what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to add in the League of Greece. And I don't think I have. After finding that out, I'm adding in Greece. Right? I'm adding in Greece. And when Greece is added, right, I am definitely going to go and look to raid Olympiacos of frees throughout the save, if there's any that are really good. But yeah, there we are. So Lazo, keep your eye on. Serbia usually join the EU, so we should be able to sign him eventually. But yeah, and look, he wants to be a star player. Like, I can understand that. Wants a big pay rise. I don't want to do that. Wants to send intensive. That's fine. Wing back, yep, I can do that. Look to bring in a former friend, remove and exclude that. And midfielders, I'm not really going to look to do that either. But I'm happy with the rest. Treat the club as a stepping stone. I'll see if I can get rid of that too. Alright. 19k, 8 mil. Look, we're signing him on a free. If someone wants to pick him up for 8 mil, that's really nice. Sell on percentage, remove and exclude that as well. See if we can tie him down to 4 years at 20. Right. Signing on fee, 400k. Agent fee, I'll pump that up to 50 just to help aid negotiations because it doesn't look like this guy really wants to negotiate with me as well. And if we get promoted with you, 15%. It's promising, nice. Look, 20k, 400, I'm happy with. Appearance fee of 4k, clean sheet bonus round it, right? And you can have a 1k substitute appearance if you move that down to 10 and if you give me a 4th year. Doesn't like it. All right, we're going to finalise it because I prefer to see him come in. I think he's really good. I am now going to gamble on something. I don't think this is going to go well, but I'm going to offer Bong out. He's just not my sort of fullback. He's not my sort of fullback. He's not my sort of thing. This is going to upset him big time. Game's automatically saved, and of course it is. Of course it comes in. I was going to save him the next day and show you guys what Bong says. Bong's going to get upset. I don't think he's any good. He's not my sort of fullback. He's nothing going forward. 9 passing, can't cross. All he's got is physicals to get up and down, and that is it. Defensively minded, yeah, not a problem. But I have a very good fullback in Yuri, who's Portuguese and can do that. And I have a fullback in a few things as well. I have a fullback in Cortrus if he comes in as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to end this little part of this episode here, I think, before we play Gosport. And what we're going to do is no offers for 2 players. They want loan fees, important players, 150, boom. That I'm happy with. We've got some bids here. 2 loan bids straight off the bat for Bong. Bit of transfer drama. What's transfer offers? So we got 150. Will you give me 100% of your wage? The means want that as well. Alright. Will you give me 200k a month? I don't want that. And a means say that. Alright, I'll see if he wants to go to a means. What I will do is then, in that case then, will we loan him out with that and 100k a week, 100k a month. Maybe what we'll try and do there, YouTube too, is maybe go around it that way. But we'll wait and we'll see what goes on. Because if I can get Bong out, free up room for a fullback, a left-hand side fullback that's going to go up and down, I would take it. And Courtois is that guy. The Greek international would be absolutely unbelievable. I do think that we'll probably lose him if we don't get promoted first year in. He'll probably get an offer for $8 million and go to a Premier League club, but that's still $8 million profit, so that's not too bad as well. Anyway, I'll see you guys in just a second for either more transfer news or our first game of the season, which is against Sheffield Wednesday. Welcome back, YouTube. It is Damien. It is the first game of the season. We have a Sheffield Wednesday side here at home at the City Ground. If you look at the season preview, they are predicted to finish down in 13th. Well, they were. They are 14th now. I expected them to actually probably been a little bit, better than that in the standings. I think their team's okay. You got Massimo Luongo in there. Obviously, is a Australian that we know. Dominic Ifor is a very decent fullback. They finished 12th last year, so maybe not. Gary Monk in charge. I think at home we should be winning this game if we're looking to really push for the playoffs, which definitely should be the goal. I think in terms of the transfers, you guys saw what went on in terms of transfers and that. I will just show you quickly, though, in order of what we did. We only made 2 signings. Leonardo there, obviously, on a free from Olympiacos because of what we explained, with the owners being the same. I think he's going to be amazing. He's coming in. He's looking really good. I honestly think he'll be pretty much, if he starts to like a house on fire, the 24-year-old, he'll be a Premier League fullback. And we have Kevin Godin on the other side. It was the 2 positions that I said, look, a bit more depth, there we are. Everywhere else in the middle of the park was so strong. Maybe in the 10 role, but we could move into a 4-3-3 and be okay. And then obviously we got the wingers on either side that are very good. And we will speak about the wingers today. In terms of other things that have kind of gone on is that we've loaned out some players for big money. Notably is Gaetane Bong has gone out, big money. I didn't want him. I didn't think he's my sort of fullback. I tried to offer him out. He didn't like it like I predicted. But we loaned him out. He's gone to our means on loan. They're paying a big chunk. They're paying quite a fair bit of his fee, which is not too bad, which is good. And Jack Colback's gone out another one, 60k a week plus 100% of the fee, of his wages. I'm loving that one as well. I think Jack Colback definitely could have been a player for us, but we're just so heavily in that midfield role that's We also obviously loaned out Zach Clough for 100% of his wages. Miguel, another one, 100% of his wages out there to Sporting Kansas. As much as we have so many people, I'm loving this. They're paying 8k of the thing. I thought it was 100%. Apparently it's not. Same thing with Zach Clough. He has also a 550 option to be bought. And, all of a sudden I'm going, okay, this is not too bad at all. Obviously, you've seen all the ins in that, and then you guys are just really here to see what the team looks like. The first thing I am going to say is Joe was injured for a little bit of the back end of pre-season, which I'm going to touch on. He did just get injured in training, pulled his ankle ligament, so I have gone on that side there with a bit of a shock of a start, but we'll get to that as to why. We also have got out at right back is Carl Jenkinson picked up a knock during a 6-0 win against Notts County. Unfortunate for him, but it means Kevin Godin is going to start his first game for the club officially at the young age of 20. You've got Samba, who's the new goalkeeper here that they sign in real life. Dawson is going to play. I think what we're going to do is we're going to play soloing games against the lower half of the table to really grow him. And we're going to use Dawson at this age. He's a very good leader, very good in the dressing room. Someone that we're going to use at the start of the year before he declines too much. And secondly, in the bigger games, because he doesn't mind a bigger game by memory, definitely in those bigger games, I think he's going to play. Anyway, Dawson's there. Joe Worrell, yet again, I think this guy's really good. I don't know why he's a fringe player. He's also been here since a very long time ago. Obviously, he came through here at Nottingham Forest. I think he's really good, and I think he could play a role. Obviously, we have the new signing in Leonardo Cortris over there as well. Silva and Batchy have been amazing in pre-season. These two have looked the two best players on paper. Silva's obviously done well, and we've nicknamed forward Batcheru because he scored a few goals from distance, and I started going, Batchy, and so now it's known as Batchy. Alex Minnington's going to come in. We could have played Abdua or with something similar to that name on the right-hand side. And Sammy Amiobi had a very good pre-season. There's a case to even play Amiobi over there. But the 17-year-old's been growing so well. He's played okay in pre-season. He's looked decent. He's nippy as well. And I think at 17, look, at any opportunity we can play a 17-year-old who has five-star potential to grow, by all means, let's put him in there. And we're going to put our faith in him. Same thing to be said about Brennan Johnson. Very good young kid. I think this guy, we've rejected a lot of loan offers for him. I think this guy can impact the team right now at 18. I honestly think he's going to make it his own. Put him in as a shadow striker role just to avoid that 11 dribbling for now. But we'll see how we go with that, and he should be okay. We've got Luke Freeman on the other side, obviously one of our key men. Has just come back from injury, so he's not 100% match fit, but he's going to play there, and he looks really good as well. And hopefully he'll be okay as sounds like the cat's attacking the dog. And Lewis Grabban had a very good pre-season as well and playing up top. In terms of pre-season, it was a very good one. We beat Chesterfield in our first game. We then played FCSM, AUM Bills FCSM. We won 3-0 against the Champions League bound side. And then Waslan Breven are in the Pro League in Belgium, and we knocked them off as well, 3-1. Gosport we beat 8-0 and Notts County 6-0. Two fairly easy games to finish. Because it was a pretty small pre-season, not everyone's 100%. Cortis has just joined us from Olympiacos. He's not 100%. Dawson as well. So we're going to use these next few games to get us a bit more fit as well, especially with the Championship starting a lot earlier than the Prem. That is the way it's going to go. Anyway, score prediction in the chat, boys. We are live on stream, as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So links down below. Cortis is getting Courtois is getting the number 5. Leonardo. Going to have to get used to saying Courtois, not Courtois. Because you say Cour and you automatically think of Courtois or Coutinho or whatever. I'm illiterate, so we know that by now. I'm not really. You know what I'm getting at. Anyway, it's a very good side. They're coming up into a 4-3-3. Pelopaloozi, I actually used that Sunderland Bright Lights very early on in my save and sold him pretty quickly too. Obviously Harris is there. Izzy Brown up top. Izzy Brown's a pretty decent little player from Brighton. And we will be okay, hopefully. I think if I was going to predict, I'll predict that we're going to win. It's just more about how Izzy Brown goes today. He's generally pretty decent, the 22-year-old on loan from Chelsea. Swear he was at Brighton. Maybe he was at Brighton on a loan. I'm going to have to double check this. Yeah, he was on a loan. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Anyhow, we're in the red. They're in the blue. Score prediction in the chat. Voice is going. And away we go. We are obviously sick as well. We're sick as a dog. But is what it is. Anyway, throw in deep in their half and Dunkley on it. This is the beauty of the championship, is that anything can happen, really. Things can be so close and so tight. Anyway, Saar finds Mr. Freeman. Overlapping run there from Leonardo. And he's going to be able to pop a ball in. I love that he uses his first name. I like it. A Rabona ball from Thiago Silva is the first thing we see from him. And to be fair, Alex Middleton probably should have scored his first senior goal for the club with the backstick header. Anyway, 10 minutes in, Reach is on it. And Reach being pressed, Dunkley now. And that ball there is picked off by Leonardo. No, it's not. Izzy Brown gets on it and beats a man and comes inside. And Izzy Brown getting into the box, cuts it back stick, but headed away. And Alex Middleton is really quick. Middleton? I don't know. Alex goes. And this is why we got him, because he's very nippy at a young age. And here he is. Puts a ball in. Lewis doesn't win it. Batchy's hit so many from distance. So has Saar. And it's taken a deflection into the post. And there we go. We've seen that sort of goal so much this start in pre-season, where Batchy plays Thiago Saar and they hit it first time or the other way around. Anyway, Dawson doesn't get up here. We've struck the woodwork inside our first 10 minutes in charge of Nottingham Forest. And look, pretty decent start. Highlight still going here as Batchy looks for Thiago Silva. The midfield is really starting to combine, which is really good. Luongo wins the ball back, the Australian. And it's a long ball down the line that's picked off by Godin on his debut as well. He finds Dawson, who's good with his feet, and hits why he's out there, the club captain. And Batchy on it again, finds Thiago Silva into Johnson, who finds Godin on this right-hand side. Godin now cuts it to Alex, comes inside, good run. Johnson's there, the two youngsters combine. Somehow, though, Johnson doesn't put it in the back of the net, and we are still at 0-0 all over Sheffield Wednesday. Would have been a great chance to score. Would have been nice to see the 17-year-old Dawson makes another great save there, by the way. Thought it was going to be a pointless highlight. Would have been great to see the two 17 and 18-year-olds combine there, but unfortunate. They looked really good as Graben looks for Worrell at the back stick. Unfortunately, goes past everybody. And the highlight ends. We have started like a house on fire, but we don't have the goal to show from it. 15 minutes played, though. Alex in the right spot. Presses well. Wins the header. And Godin beats his man eventually. And going down this right-hand side. His ball inside finds Thiago Silva. And Silva's ball lays it back into Dawson, who's really good on the ball. Silva again. Finds Alex Middleton. Alex is having a very good game out there. Godin, still with it. He's got numbers on the cutback. Looks for Alex. Finds him. Alex in the box. Batchy hits. And there we go. Batchy scores his first goal of the year. He's our key man. He's not known in terms of his stats as his goal-scoring player. Like, have a look at Batchy, right? 6 finishing, 7 long shots. But in pre-season, and just showing that he gets, as a box-to-box, he gets in the right areas and his right foot is deadly. So, I don't get it. In the end, though, we're 1-0 to the good. And there we are. I was wondering why it wasn't a highlight, but we're now back live, which is good. In the end, though, it's nice to see. You know, it's good build-up play. Godin's looked good. So has Alex in his first 15 minutes. Cuts it back, and Batchy just blasts it through Dawson. Out of all the saves Dawson's makes, he probably should make that one. But there we go. We are 1-0 to the good. 25 minutes played. Still looking very good on the ball. We haven't seen too much from Sheffield Wednesday, and we said that we thought the squad was really good anyway. It's a big squad that I do need to cut down. But hopefully we will continue on in the same vein of form. Find a second here before half-time. Doesn't look like it's going to come. Just going to tell us demand a little bit more right before half-time. Just make sure that the boys focus up. And there we are, half-time. We do take a 1-0 lead. We're absolutely battering Sheffield. It's been a very good start to our campaign. Hopefully we can find a second, not before too long. How are you, Dan? Good to see you in the chat. 50 minutes played. Joe Worrell picking up a booking. But hopefully we will find a second goal and take all the pressure off him not getting booked. How are you, HBG? Good to see you. Anyway, Izzy Brown doesn't win that one there. Thiago gets on it, which is good. And he finds Jack Worrell. And that's a good ball in the Luke Freeman, the man on loan. Thiago Silva looks out for Godin, finds him, can knock it inside, finds Dawson, into Batchy. Batchy now, Thiago Silva. This is where we're good. Freeman knocks into no one. Didn't need to either. He could have taken so much time. Godin wins it back again. Thiago Silva. Back into Dawson, and we're building again. It's such controlled possession from us. It looks so nice out there. Got in again, into Batchy. He looks for Thiago. He puts it over. You can see that these midfield two, they love to have a pop. It's going to be exciting to watch. 60 minutes played. We will start thinking about our first sub. And I'm going to give it to a man that's been in a lot of form. Like for like, Taylor has just scored a heap in pre-season. If you go and look at his career stats, in pre-season, has scored 5 goals in 6 appearances, 3 and 3. It will be said that it is against a bit of a lesser side. He's scored in a couple of games in the Notts County and the other one, but has been scoring goals. So we're going to put him out there. And Dawson, all he had to do was put it on target, and it was 2-0. Keeper was long gone. At the end, though, not really all happening out there. Johnson obviously missed that big chance and has been suffering because of it. I'm going to leave him out there for this highlight, and then we're going to probably take him off. And I think what we're going to do is bring So in and go to a 4-3-3. Still say it the same way, but really just go, okay, we don't need to really go for it as much. Would love a goal right now, though. And Taylor cuts at Freeman now. Gets in the box. Taylor looks slightly off. Referee said no. Leonardo beats a man, gets into the ball, looks to cut it, doesn't find it, but we have spent the whole time in this little area here on top of our box, really. Batchy again, Silva, good ball out to Alex Mitten, volleys that goal, Dawson, what a save, falls back to Alex, Dawson, it's through, and Alex scores his first ever goal for Nottingham Forest. And there you go, the youngster, the 17-year-old is going to have a goal and an assist, and Alex Mitten is taking his opportunity with both hands and grasping it. It was a great save from Dawson. Falls to him though. Dawson really should do better with the second effort. In the end, we're 2-0 to the good. I'm very happy with that. With that in mind, I am going to move Johnson into here. We are going to get So in as a DM. Ball-winning midfielder on as a DM, I reckon, as well. And we'll go on there as well. AJ really wants Wednesday to come back. I feel for you, AJ. And I think with this game being dead and buried now, Joe is going to come off, and Loic Mbiso, who's such a good prospect, is going to come in like for like. 2-0 to the good, dominating the game. Easy game to bring him on as well. Got in now on his debut. Has looked really good. Batchy now. Finds got in again. Numbers on top of the box. So is that it. He hits it. In the end, Dawson makes a great save. Without the keeper, Sheffield Wednesday, they probably would be a lot down. And then the sad part is the 2 goals that have gone in, Dawson probably should do better for. Ball in again from the corner, flicked away, and Batchy's going to get on it. And Batchy looking very good out there as well. It's been a very good performance here from the Nottingham Forest boys. This is what we're going to produce. The City Stadium is going to love what they see. And saying that, McKay's in here, and this is the first time we're going to need to see Samba So, and in the end he makes the save. Does it Samba So? That's not him. Samba in goal. Samba So's the midfielder. You know what I meant. Mr. Samba in goals, had to do nothing. Makes the save when called upon. Anyway, time ticking away here. Going to stay in the same system. Not going to slow it down or anything like that. We're just going to try and go out here and win the game 3 or 4 if we can. Alex beats a man, gets in the box, cuts at Batchy. What a save, Dawson. Like I said, if it wasn't for Dawson, it would have been 5, 6, 7 maybe. And also on his day, Dawson would have kept that clean sheet here because the 2 that have gone in have been great. But there we are. Dawson's having a weldy. In the end, though, we're looking really good. Time ticked away. It would be typical us to concede right now. Yep, there we go. What's new, man? Can I just keep a clean sheet? Would be nice. It would have been like the perfect start. A clean sheet, a dominating display. In the end, it's one really late for Sheffield, but it's not going to matter. It's consolation only. We win 2-1. I'm happy with that. Alex Mitten. What a performance from the young kid on his debut. A good win, boys. Vindicated for choosing the young 17-year-old over one of the more experienced Sammy Abiobi or Albert, which was really good to see. In the end, though, that's going to be the end of the episode. I'm not going to sign anybody as well. I'm going to sign anybody as well. In terms of when I'm going to come back in next, I'm going to... Might bring you Stoke, because Stoke's an interesting game. I think we're going to bring you a few more games, is what I'm going to say. I might bring you maybe like a couple of games. Bournemouth, former Premier League side, and Barnsley maybe. Bournemouth, Birmingham's not bad as well. We will depend on the table, and I might bring you one of these 3 or that. I might not bring you Stoke, it's a bit too early on. But I might bring you one of these few, and then I'll give you another one in November, a couple double headers in November. Give you some of the December run in as well. Might give you the Watford, Middlesbrough, Birmingham, Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year special is what I might do for some episodes going forward. But yeah, story of the day is this kid, Alex Middington. I don't know. Mighton, however you want to say it. Alex went out there. Not a problem. 17 years of age. I'll tell you right now, he's not being dropped for the next one either. He's going to start that one too. From Damon, everybody here at Nottingham Forest. I need to stop saying Notts, because obviously means Notts County. Nottingham Forest. That's the end of the first ever episode of the Regrowth. But yeah, hopefully it will be okay. The chat reckons it's pronounced Myton. Alright, Myton. What a performance. Go like, subscribe, links down below. We're obviously live on stream. I'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully I'm not as sick, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to continue streaming a little bit tonight, and I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, so I'm going to probably be sounding sick for the first few episodes of this. From Damo. Catch you later.